Lori. Thanks for coming in today.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah. How's your day going?
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Off from school finally.
Oh,
it's
nice. How long of a break do you get?
Well, I did summer school, so I'll have 6 weeks instead of the 9 that I usually get.
Oh.
But it's plenty.
Okay. Well,
So-
6 weeks. That's fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans?
No, my husband and I, we kind of stay nearby for the summer break.
Oh,
He
okay.
has to work almost
Oh,
every day, so.
got it. Got it.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot. I hope you guys have a pool or something
We
to cool
do.
down. Oh,
We
good.
got that, and then we are in it every day.
Nice.
I love it.
Good. I'm happy for you. Very cool. So we just are going to start off by revisiting our previous appointment.
Mm-hmm.
I had you do a 24-hour recall, and
Mhm.
you just gave it back to me, and you said that you had smoothie for breakfast, and a good amount of, I believe it was vegetables for lunch and dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and then also with some snacks in between, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
great. Sounds good. So our goals the last session were to increase our protein, and it definitely seemed like you did that with that 24-hour
Yeah.
recall.
Yeah. That's
Okay, good. And then, are there any new changes to your exercise or diet that you've been noticing?
Well, I'm able to exercise a little more
Okay.
because of summer break, so I
Mhm.
love that. But because I have more time to exercise, I also have more time to snack.
Mm,
And I'm near my house and my kitchen, and I have a lot of time on my hands. So this is almost every summer I gain weight because of being around my kitchen and being
Mhm.
around the house and having time and not being too busy. So
okay.
it drives me nuts, and I'm not good at it, but it's just grabbing usually bready things and
Mm-hmm.
junk or a little bit more of last night's dessert or something.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
it's kind of a bummer, but
So it seems like you, now that you have all of this time, you're doing more of snacking instead of the working that, so you're replacing your snacking and you're working
yeah.
a little
Well,
bit.
I'm getting more workout, but it just
Uh-huh.
isn't. It doesn't work out, so it doesn't even out because
Right.
I do enough snacking. So,
Right, I understand. But you're able to exercise more, that's a
Yeah.
huge plus.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
fun.
That's
What are you
good.
doing for exercise? Tell me a bit more
Well,
about that.
I like spin, so I'm
Okay.
trying to do that 3 or 4 times a week,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to go to 2 yoga sessions a week in addition to that.
Fun.
So
That's great. That's a very active lifestyle.
they're good. I love them. They're
Yeah.
really good.
Good for you. That's
Yeah.
very neat. Do you find that you are more hungry on days that you work out or days that
Nope.
you don't work out?
I have never noticed a difference in that. I do notice that I want something, even if I have a good protein-filled smoothie before
Mhm.
a workout, like spin in the morning. Oh, I come home and I want to have something real purposeful,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I repeat with the same old smoothie that I just had
Yeah.
before, and I'm kind of wondering if that's not good to be doing.
Uh-huh.
But so I have that going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, it looked like that smoothie was in your 24-hour recall, and it looked like it was full of great stuff and
Yeah.
perfect for post-workout snacks. High in
Okay.
protein,
Is
good
it good
complex
for-
carbohydrates.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. So I would say, yeah, keep it up with that. That's
Is
great.
it good to do that before the workout or not? What should I be doing before?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on what your body is wanting
Okay.
to do. If you find yourself hungry and starving before workout, definitely have a little something.
Okay.
I would say maybe not eat until you're full, but
Yeah,
just
okay.
something a little to sustain you throughout that workout.
All right.
If you wanted to do half and half, or
Yeah.
it's really up to you and what your body feels.
I
is
like
right.
having food in me because it is a hard spin class, and
Mm.
I don't want to go there with barely a belly, but
Right, I don't
a
blame
full
you.
belly, that's good advice. I'll try that.
Yeah.
To do it where I don't do it to a full belly.
Yeah, try
Okay.
that. Maybe that'll help out. And then just any changes with your support system? So your husband and your daughters, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
no changes there other than I just need to build some willpower in my husband and I, but it's the 2 of us,
Mhm.
'cause
That's tough.
Yeah.
That is difficult. Got it. Okay. So how would you say that you're feeling about where you're at right now with your diet?
I feel good about it from the start of the day until I'm done with exercise, and then I'm home and I'm not lazy around the house, but I just meander and get different chores done. But I get up and I snack on a handful of trail mix. I'll get up and it's too much snacking, and I know it.
Okay.
And it's not good stuff. I need to have a plan for that
Mhm.
craving time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not good at planning like that.
Right. So from what you're saying, it's hard to kind of plan out those days when you just have all of this time and all of this food available. I could imagine. I struggle with the same things on every other day or so, but are there any changes, if any, that you'd like to make today?
Yeah, one thing I'd like to do, in addition to get a better handle on that, is we love to have a glass of wine and a beer at night, or I'll have just beer that night and he'll have some, but I would like to be able to just have one.
Okay.
And it's just, we find them so delicious and we just love a second one. And it's so, I don't know, I know that it's not good on my liver, and I would love to see me make a good choice there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, sounds good. So if you wouldn't mind, kind of help me understand why you would like to address the snacking and the alcohol and
Because
the
I
weight
don't want to
gain.
gain weight. I don't want to gain weight.
Okay.
And I'm getting older, I'm late 50s, and it gets, from what I understand, harder to lose it. So I want to maintain, and I'd like to firm up too. So that's why I'm working out. But I don't think it's wise to be having 2 drinks every night. It's probably not wise having one every night.
Okay.
But I love it and enjoy it, and we're not abusing it. But,
Right.
So, but that's not a good enough reason to keep doing it. So.
Okay. Sounds good. So I'm understanding you'd like to kind of firm up and work on that, avoiding that weight gain, I guess.
Yes.
Kind of that's the point of your session
Every
here.
summer, I gain it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I think we can dive into those changes a bit more. And what behavior would you like to start with? What should we tackle first? Out of those 3, the weight gain, snacking, and the alcohol, what do you think you'd like to address first?
The weight gain, I think, is because of my snacking, and probably because of having 2 drinks at night. I could be
Okay.
having water at night, and it just doesn't appeal to me because I'm drinking it all day long. But
Right.
but yeah, I think they would both affect my weight gain. So
You're very
those are
right in that
tips
they do.
on that.
Yeah, definitely. We can definitely do that. I think we should. I think it would be really neat to kind of set goals for those. So
okay.
by addressing that weight gain, or I guess that could be our final goal, is to avoid weight gain by addressing the alcohol and the snacking.
Okay.
Does that sound like a good place
Yeah.
to start?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, great. So those, like we said, those are great goals. I'd love to help you achieve them. And but first, we can assess our confidence, our motivation, and the importance of these goals, just so that we can kind of see where you're at and work on ways to increase all of those factors.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you on a scale 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the most, ready? How important for you is it that you make those changes from 1 to 10?
So the snacking.
Yeah.
That's important.
Okay.
That's
What would you say?
8.
8? Okay. Sounds good. And so why would you say an 8 and not a 10?
Good point. Maybe because I'm not obese or anything, so I don't feel, and I do have some good habits. And I, like in my dinner, I feel really good because I've made an effort the last several years to make sure half of my whole plate is vegetables. So I know I do some good things.
Right,
But
definitely.
I just don't like I don't even know if I could give you the last 24 hours accurately because it's this snack and that
Oh, okay.
snack.
Yeah,
So,
that's hard. Well, I hear you have good habits. Having half of your plate as vegetables, that's a great start. It sounds like you're already ahead of the game. But at 8, that's not a bad, that's great. It's important to you. It's definitely on the scale. And then how motivated would you say you are on the same scale, 1 to 10?
say a 9?
A 9? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. These questions kind of get you to think a little more.
Yeah,
huh?
they do.
Yeah.
Because I do like snacking, but I don't love it that much.
Right. Yeah, it's fun to kind of process things, nutrition especially, in a way that you're not normally doing it on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
Okay, so motivation would be at a 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great place. And what about confidence? How confident are you that you can make these changes and implement them?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 10, yes.
Out of 5.
A 5, okay. Nothing wrong with that. And tell me about that 5.
Because I'm unsupervised and I have the house to myself and nobody knows but me and the walls.
That would be very difficult to be unsupervised in a house full of yummy snacks. Yeah. Okay. Well, All right, now that we have that, I think it's good to move into these goals and set some more goals and dive into these a bit more. And from our previous appointment, you've set and achieved goals in the past, like adding the protein, adding a bit more exercise, and even limiting alcohol. I know we've talked about that before, and you've done that with no kind of problems at all. Same thing with coffee. If I remember, you kind of cut coffee. How has that been going, by the way?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Great.
I don't miss it at all.
Okay.
I'm floored.
Wow.
I drank it since I was a little girl.
How funny.
I feel
Yeah.
very good that it's out of me.
Yeah. So you're definitely able to make these
Yeah.
changes.
That's
It's
right.
there. It is there. And I would hope that your confidence shoots up beyond that 5 because
maybe
you
so.
can do that.
Good point.
I have very full faith in you in that aspect. But we're gonna go ahead and go over some goals. So have you heard of the SMART goals?
Yes.
You have?
Yes, I
Tell
have.
me about your experience
In
with that.
teaching.
In teaching,
We use
all right.
SMART goals all the time.
All
Trying
right.
to remember what S stands
Okay,
for.
here's your test. Yeah,
I
give
know
me
it.
the acronyms.
Achievable. Measurable.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
it's
remember
okay.
them on the spot.
We're gonna go
I
over
need to
them.
know 'em.
So the S is specific.
Okay.
So we're gonna the who, the what, kind of your
Okay.
overall goal. M, you had that one right. Measurable. What are we measuring? Attainable.
Attainable.
Mm-hmm. So that's like the small changes that we're
Yeah.
gonna make in order to make that big change.
Okay.
The R is the reward. So what are you going to do
Reward.
to kind of treat yourself in a way after achieving that goal? And T is the time, so the target time frame.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and start with our first goal. Let's address the alcohol. Is that okay with you?
Yeah. Great.
Great, sounds good. So speaking of SMART goals, our S, specific. What should we specifically say for alcohol? I think you mentioned it earlier, but
Okay.
let's
I was
talk it
thinking,
out.
how about, because I'll have one with dinner, and sometimes whatever I'm not done with at dinner, I'll sit and have it after dinner. Maybe whatever's not done at dinner needs to be off the chart, off. I don't know, I was just thinking of that, but it needs to not be an option.
Okay,
You think? Is that a good,
I think that's a great start. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's kind of after dinner, that's no more alcohol.
it's water time.
Okay, so let's put that as our overarching goal. We'll stop
Okay.
any alcohol after dinner. That's a great idea. And that goes kind of along with our M, the measurable,
True.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we'll say no alcohol after dinner. We could easily measure that by
Yeah.
if you drink alcohol after dinner.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, sounds good. So what kind of steps for our attainable acronym, the A,
Yeah.
what kind of small changes can we make to reach that?
Well, I'm not sure, because measurable kind of reached it, didn't
Mhm.
it, with
Yeah.
that? Or do I keep a little checklist, are you thinking? And think, man, I did it today, I did it tomorrow, or that kind of thing, or
If
not?
that's something that would help you, you definitely can.
Okay.
I think so. The small changes, maybe if it's a big deal to you and if it's very hard to stop cold turkey,
Uh-huh.
I think maybe you could, okay, if you're enjoying a glass of wine with dinner and you
Mhm.
haven't finished it,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you could just say, I'm going to finish this glass.
Okay.
And then that's it. And then slowly, so maybe do that throughout the week, but being aware of it, that
Yeah.
you're still
Okay.
trying to work towards this stop alcohol after dinner completely.
Okay.
So instead, so once, I don't know, you do that for a few days and you're like, okay, like I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at the end of dinner, you still have that wine in that glass.
Mm-hmm.
You say, I'm done. And then set it to the
And
side.
then I start weaning, yeah, okay, that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll maybe start by slowly, yeah, you just said it perfectly, weaning, like day by day, take
Like
it
I
day
did
by
the
day.
coffee.
Okay, that's great, yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
how you did the coffee. Perfect, sounds good. And what do you think you'll kind of reward yourself to reinforce this behavior with?
I think intrinsic, I just feel
Mhm.
so good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need to go buy myself a new outfit or anything.
Right,
It
right.
I just think it's like when you work out. You're like,
Mhm.
yeah, that felt great.
That's a great,
Yeah, I think just knowing I'm cleaner
Yeah,
would be better.
that's awesome. That's a really positive way about it.
Yeah.
That'll go far. And that'll help you with all goal setting in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then what is a target time frame that you'd like to achieve this goal?
Oh, like this week,
This week? Great.
Yeah.
All right, you're on top of it.
might as well.
Sounds good. Yeah. Good. That's awesome. Yeah. So that kind of tackles our alcohol
Okay.
category. If you want to say, well, we're going to revisit this, but we're going to go ahead and move on to that next goal. So
Okay.
still addressing the weight gain, but now with the excessive snacking,
yeah,
if you
okay.
will.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to go over the SMART acronym.
Okay.
That's just a really good way to kind of outline our goals and talk through them.
Okay.
So for the specific,
Specific. Ooh. It's the what I snack on. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't mind if I'm snacking on something that's good,
mm-hmm.
but I know what's in the house that isn't good. Not that I always want sugar. I don't. It's just, and being reasonable in the amount too.
Okay.
Because if it's grapes in the fridge, it's not so great to go to town on a whole bunch of grapes either. So
Okay.
I gotta
Yeah.
watch that.
Yeah, I totally
So-
understand.
Maybe have stuff prepped is
Okay.
an important part of that.
All right, that's a good idea. That's a great idea.
I have
All
a
right.
friend who does that.
Oh,
That
yeah?
works really well for her.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
so-
That's great. Yeah, maybe we can talk about those methods. I have some tips for that as well.
Okay.
We can address those later on in our session.
Good.
And then measurable. How do you think we're gonna measure this?
Well, if I do have them prepped, I could have them in little containers or something, and or maybe I don't know, because I love a little bit of nuts and craisins mix. And if I just have like 3 things I'm allowed to snack on,
Yeah.
and I can't go back to one of the same or
Mhm.
something. Is that wise? I mean, to say, okay, so I got a little baggie of veggies maybe in the middle of the
Mhm.
afternoon, and then I do a trail mix later in the afternoon,
Mhm.
and then maybe it's a couple grapes.
Mhm.
I don't know, just so I'm not going, man, that trail mix is good.
Right,
Ground
right.
it and it. So.
Yeah, very true. Because yes, almonds and craisins, great snack. But as we know, portion size can be very hard with trail
Yes,
mixes.
with a handful.
Exactly. Oh yeah. From that, yeah, it's just so enticing and easy just to
Yeah.
put them away.
When that handful is not there anymore, I'm sitting at the table reading my book.
Uh-huh.
I get another handful and load it. So
I know. Right. Yeah, so that's very good to be mindful of. I'm glad
Okay.
to see that you're already kind of processing that thought
Yeah.
and being aware of that. But I like the idea of having them in containers. That's a measurable
Okay.
way to do it, and allowing yourself a certain number per
Okay.
day. I like that. And that can kind of also go with the attainable. So making those
Yeah.
small changes.
Uh-huh.
One of the changes would be prepping.
Being prepared.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right. Being prepared, exactly.
I could do it during the salad prep the night before even. I mean,
Yeah, that would be an easy way.
that's
Just
when I
couple-
always make my salad for
Right.
my lunch the next day. So
Yeah.
that's one way.
That would be great. That's a great idea. Very creative. And yeah, you're already there. Might as well cut up a couple
Cut 'em
extra.
Yeah,
All right. And then what about the reward? Do you think that's the same kind of intrinsically?
definitely.
Okay.
When you put your clothes on and they feel nicer.
Yes. I think we can all attest to that.
Yes.
And time frame.
Tomorrow, start tomorrow.
Tomorrow. All
There you
right.
go. No need to
You are
wait.
making these changes happen.
Well,
That's awesome. Very cool. And finally, our third goal, we kind of talked about the weight gain. I know it
Yes.
kind of is encompassed by the snacking and the alcohol, but just as more as a broad umbrella, let's just go ahead and set a small
okay.
goal for that.
Because one of the things with the weight gain would be my core is fluffier than it needs to be, and that's one exercise area that I don't enjoy.
Okay.
So I guess we could could we tie that together?
Oh, of course.
Because
Yeah.
that would help with the weight gain. yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so first one is what?
So the first one is SMART, so specific, or sorry, an S.
Okay. Daily ab work.
Awesome.
And I used to be faithful to it.
Mm-hmm.
My husband had an injury and I had to do more and I stopped it and I never went back and it was working.
All right.
So
Man, well, it sounds like you know what works, and
yeah.
it's great. You have that in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
You do know that from experience.
Yeah.
Okay. And then measurable.
Measurable. You know what? I think what I picture, I used to do on the yoga ball is 3 different things, 50 times each, so it's 150.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you call it 150 crunches, but it's not crunches.
All right. We'll just put that down. Maybe a goal of 100, whatever it is, 150.
It was good for my back as well as my belly,
Okay.
so
And how how many times a week would you do that?
7.
Wow, good for
Like that,
you.
so.
That's great. Awesome, good for you. And again, don't feel like you have to start big and do all 7 days.
Yeah.
3 days, maybe.
And I
you
might
could
start
off
with 50.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Work
move
your way up.
myself up to that 150
Mhm.
because I worked myself up to that.
Yeah, I don't think it's probably not the smartest decision to jump in, after you leave here, go and do 150 crunches right off the bat.
No.
So
Yeah.
gradual is much better.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the attainable, we kind of just covered that. The
Mm-hmm.
make gradual changes work up towards that.
Mm-hmm.
And even if, is there a time of the day where you find yourself kind of, I don't know, maybe if it's just kind of lollygagging, and since it's your summer break, you don't have
Yeah.
as much work to do, maybe you could fill it with a quick
Yeah.
50
That's
crunches.
a good idea. I could do that. Maybe at one of the times I want to get up and go have a snack, I change it to get up and go do one of the sets of that.
Mhm.
Because
Good
what
idea.
really worked for that was when I was in that routine for several years, I was doing it the minute I got up in the
Mhm.
morning. And that worked well with the kids were asleep and
Uh-huh.
work wasn't starting yet. So, but I would want to start in the morning and try to get
Okay.
that routine going. But while I'm home for summer, I like the idea of doing it at a
Yeah.
different time, maybe a chunk of it at a different time when I normally would get up for a snack I'm not in need of.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Good thinking. So maybe around snack time. Alright. And reward,
Same thing.
okay, intrinsic, maybe
Feel
even
good.
tighter, like we talked about earlier.
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
Feel,
A bit more toned.
yeah, less backache when
Mm-hmm.
I do use myself
Right.
too much.
Mm-hmm. And time frame.
Tomorrow.
Alright.
No reason to wait.
That's a lot of changes in coming
Yeah,
up.
but there's some fun ones,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Right, and you seem to be excited about them.
Yeah,
So that's always a plus. So is there anything that troubles you about reaching these goals or thinking about them? Is there anything you're nervous about?
You know, just sometimes I don't get purposeful and I don't keep my mind on it and stay on it.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like get up and go, oh, I'll get up. Oh, let me make the bed first. Oh, let me do that first. And all of a sudden it's noon and I haven't done any of them or something
Right.
like that. So, yeah, so that worries me a bit,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Okay.
I have to be more mindful.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. Well, I think each of these goals are a great way to practice that, and that will
Yeah.
transfer over to many aspects of life, being more mindful. Okay, sounds good. So let's go ahead and maybe talk a bit more about reaching these goals and different ideas to kind of maybe help you. So yes, we talked about alcohol and not drinking alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know it is comforting to have, a little drink in your hand and, just sip on it.
Yeah.
It kind of is nice relaxation time.
Mm-hmm. Changes the time of day.
Yeah.
It's that time of day I'm off.
Yes. Oh gosh, yeah, I can imagine. And during your summer break, I'm sure you're
Yeah.
ready for
I don't
some
even need
dead
it so
time.
much in summer, but during the work week you feel
Yeah.
like you do. But
Yeah. Well,
it's a
man,
bad habit.
yeah, it can be if you're, abusing it like we talked about earlier. But with alcohol, there's a few changes that we could also implement because alcohol is pretty high in calories,
Oh, true.
high in sugar and fat,
Mhm.
which leads to that weight gain that you may or may
True.
not be seeing. And so those are empty calories that you are consuming, and I mean, they're not the best, but it's not bad to have it in moderation.
Yeah.
Definitely not. But there are some ways that we can maybe switch out. So instead of having that second glass, maybe we could have something else to drink.
Okay.
Do you have any ideas what we could start with if that's
Ice
something
water.
you're craving? Ice water,
Summer,
okay.
it sure is.
Uh-huh, very
A
true.
Spritzer, whatever.
Yeah.
There's so many products out now that are carbonated.
Yeah, definitely. Those are good ideas.
Mhm.
There's even, have you heard of spa waters?
No.
No? Okay, spa waters are a fun kind of way to spice up your water, your
Huh.
hydration intake, if you say.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What are they?
So spa water is basically a combination of different ingredients that
Mhm.
either fruits, vegetables, herbs, and you kind of mix them up and let
Okay.
them sit. You might
Okay.
have seen them in, I don't know, magazines or at,
Okay.
spas, something like
Okay.
that.
All right.
But yeah, do you have a garden or do you enjoy gardening?
yeah.
Okay. Do you have any herbs in that garden?
Rosemary.
Okay.
Mint.
great.
and- Yeah.
Oh, those are perfect. So it's,
Basil.
yeah, taking basil and taking a couple cubes of watermelon and maybe muddling them together and pouring
Okay.
some water on top. a
Awesome.
simple change like that might be refreshing, but
And beautiful.
beautiful. Yes, exactly. Yes,
sounds
it'll look
neat.
like you worked hard, but it's still, and yeah, the beauty kind of serves as a reward in a sense
It
versus
does.
the
Yeah.
empty calories that
I
alcohol
like that.
prevents.
That sounds neat.
I actually have a handout I can give you at the end of our session, and we can go through and has a bunch of different recipes for that if
Oh,
you'd like
okay.
that.
All right.
And then our second goal was the weight gain, the snacking specifically. So for our snacking, focusing on the what? So prepping.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you said you had a friend, right, who did
Yes.
prepping?
Uh-huh.
So what kind of things did you like about her ideas?
She just gets all her veggies ready and cut. Sometimes it's meat at the beginning of the week,
Mhm.
things like that. And sometimes she has a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday salad, and she takes them to her
Wow.
fridge at work. And each day she's just got, and she does that salad spinner.
Oh yeah,
And she says it really keeps her lettuce fresher all week long, so it
Wow.
just has lasted longer.
that's great.
Yeah, so that's handy. And I am really good about doing salads for lunch every
Mhm.
day. I do add a lot of cheese to it. Not too much, but I gotta have some proteins.
Yeah.
And I do the cheese over meat because it's just easy to have, and if we're out of meat, it's not a big deal. And
Okay.
that's probably not so great on my cholesterol, which is in a border zone that I'm not supposed to be in, but
Okay.
I'm not on meds for it or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, but other than salad, just the items that you could just grab and snack and crunch on.
Right.
Getting that prepped
Uh-huh.
is smart.
Yeah, very true. So what ideas do you have in accomplishing that?
I guess in the evening when I'm making dinner,
Mhm.
I got all the stuff out, the cutting boards,
Uh-huh.
the veggies are right there.
Yeah.
So just do it then.
Right. You did
Yeah,
mention
yeah.
that earlier about salad time, how you
Mhm.
usually have salad for dinner, just cutting
Mhm.
up some extras. That's a good idea. Some people have found that, like you said, chopping up extra veggies and then creating a space in the fridge, whether it's I don't know, like think of an empty
Oh, okay.
container,
Uh-huh.
just setting, filling up bags full of, like you said, those carrots or
What?
celery, cucumber. So then
Okay.
there's a drawer in the fridge that is specifically
You go
you just, okay, I know I can have this, I know I can have that. And it's easy to see when you're running low.
Yeah.
You could make a variety of things.
That's awesome.
That's a bunch of clients have found that to be helpful. Is that something
Okay.
you'd be
Yeah,
interested in?
definitely.
Okay.
I've not thought of that.
Yeah. And the same thing goes for the pantry snacks. You can kind of create little baggies
Uh-huh.
that you can take instead of taking the entire bag
Yes.
of almonds and craisins.
Right.
Creating
Snack
mini
them.
trail mixes because as
Okay.
we talked about earlier, those are pretty highly, or they can be highly caloric.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we could look into creating more of a snack drawer
Yeah,
for
I
you.
like that. That's a very good idea.
Yeah. So going back to those snacks, maybe choosing things that are higher in fiber. Do you have a good understanding of fiber and
I don't know that I do.
Okay.
I know vegetables and everything help with
Mhm.
it, but I imagine potatoes don't. Right?
right.
Okay.
So fiber will increase your satiety so you won't feel as hungry.
Oh.
It'll they take longer to digest.
Okay.
So they'll move through your system slower,
Okay.
which means that you won't be as hungry as
Okay.
often.
Nice.
So having high fiber snacks is a really great idea.
Okay.
Just to kind of control that weight gain and that excessive snacking.
Right.
So yeah, like you said, those vegetables, avoiding processed foods. Nuts are great sources of fiber, but we do have to consider the calories in those. So
Mhm.
just being aware of that is really good. So
Okay.
again, measuring out is really important and being
Okay.
mindful of
I
those
don't do
portion
any
sizes.
measuring, so I
Mhm.
probably need that.
Yeah, so an easy way, so I just heard you kind of say you don't do that. So instead of using your hand as a scoop, it may be easy to go and buy a cheap little measuring cup, like a quarter cup, and just
And it's
leaving
in
it
there.
in the bag.
That's
Mhm.
a great idea.
Yeah, we'll write that
Okay.
down as maybe
Good.
an idea that you could take home with
Yeah.
you. Yeah, but that might be a good place to start with that. And so I think both of those things will kind of help you achieve that weight gain.
Mhm.
And then same with adding that ab workout that you were
Yeah.
saying you'd like to do.
Okay.
That'll definitely help out a bit more too. Okay, so I'd like to show you those handouts if you don't mind, if that's
Yeah.
something you're interested
Yeah,
in.
I'd love to see it.
Okay, great.
That'd be great.
So I have a couple. One is on the spa water. So here we have a bunch of different combinations. So you see lemon and thyme, and it's just
Awesome.
really easy to kind of bring out, I mean, anything you
Nice.
like really, but just super simple. It sounds like you already have mint and
Yeah.
rosemary and lemon.
I
so
love blueberries in water. That's
Yeah.
a great idea. Okay.
yeah,
Orange, blueberry, and basil. That sounds
I
good.
know. And you could get creative and create your own.
Okay.
And yeah, that's just a fun way to have more water
Nice.
and be happy about it.
Love it.
So that's one printout I'll make sure that you have and go home with.
So if I make that in a container in the fridge, how long can it sit before I
Mhm.
need to get the fruit out?
Right. So I would say that kind of, it depends on how long you've had the fruit to begin
Okay.
with.
Okay.
And also you should just, I mean, it probably will lose flavor the longer it sits
okay.
in the water.
Okay.
So, I mean, you could do it cup by cup, or if
Okay.
you wanted to do a big batch, maybe let it sit in there for a couple of hours, and then the water will stay good if you drain the, the
okay, that's
basil
a,
or watermelon out
Okay.
of it.
Very good.
And you'll still be left with that taste.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then I also have a list of protein-rich snacks, and these are also high fiber.
Oh,
to kind of,
fabulous. I would need that list. That'd be nice.
Yeah, definitely. So these are, with your exercise schedule, since you're very active, it's important to make sure that we're getting protein as well. And
Right.
so these will help.
Before and after. Okay.
Yeah. So these will help you get that protein
Okay.
and the fiber. So lots of veggies, and I'll make sure that you go home with both of these.
Great. Thank you.
Awesome. Any questions about those or?
No, that's
Okay.
great. I was going to ask about the high fiber. I
Yeah.
imagine, is there a ranking of which veggie snack to snack
Um,
on?
there is, I'm sure there is some sort of tier. I'm not 100%
Okay.
sure off the top of my head, but I will gladly check into my, the depths of my collection,
Okay.
and I can send those along with you as well
Super.
and get those to you. But I think we went over some really good points today, and if you were to, so you're gonna go home to your husband, chances are he'll ask you about your day.
Yeah.
How do you think you'll explain our session to him?
He'll have to hear it all.
He'll have to hear it all.
We usually tell each other a lot.
All
so-
right, well that's good. What kind of, so if you were to summarize your goals, I guess, what would you say? Just to kind of recap and bring it all together.
I would say I'm gonna be making snack bags for me, and if he
Mhm.
wants me to make some for him,
That's
I'll
great.
have a
Yeah.
spot in the fridge for that. Cause I could see him seeing those and grabbing them to take to work.
Yeah.
Which then I don't have my snack baggies, so I better find out if he's gonna
True.
be part of it.
Very true.
Then I'll just redo my little pantry to have an area there too.
Uh-huh.
And I have plenty of room to do that.
Okay.
So I'll be telling him that, and that he needs to encourage me to cut at dinner to
Yeah.
not pour a little more and hang out.
Right.
But he doesn't do it. I just
Mhm.
love that little sip more.
Mhm.
But I mean, he has a drink at night, but he doesn't need that after he sit on the couch. It's
Yeah.
a bad habit. I have my infused water.
There you go. That's a great change. Awesome. Well, it sounds like you really kind of picked up and are enthusiastic about these
I can't
changes,
wait.
which
That'll be
is
neat.
good to hear. And do you have any other questions for me today?
How about, is fruit on the high fiber too? Is that
Yeah,
right?
fruit
Okay.
has a great amount of
All right.
fiber in it. Mhm.
Okay, so-
Definitely. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
very good on knowing all the parts of foods, but
Yeah,
I
that's
know
okay.
they're right. But
Yeah.
but that's
No,
helpful.
maybe, I mean, we'll meet again, and that's something I can jot down to kind of address and
Okay.
have maybe something ready for next time too.
Okay.
But
Great.
yeah, if you don't have any other questions,
I don't
Okay.
think. No.
well, I'm excited to hear about your progress and look
Yeah.
forward to our next meeting.
Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Have